Okay, hey everyone. This is our very first Chats with Chels series video, and eventually going to be a podcast. So I have my very first guest, Jan Mertlik.
Whatever works.
So Jan and I met through the Memorial Center of Entrepreneurship. We're on the first team of ambassadors, which was awesome. So that was a couple years ago now, and Jan has been doing some pretty awesome things since then. So we're going to start by hearing a little bit about him.
Sure. Hi, my name is Jan. I'm originally from the Czech Republic. I came to Newfoundland 2013, so over 4 years ago now. And I'm a computer science and economics student at MUN. Hoping to finish that soon. We'll see when that happens. But yeah, and I'm an entrepreneur.
So for as long as I've known Jan, he's been doing a little bit of hustling. Every now and again, he's always coming up with some new ideas. So I think you've probably been an entrepreneur for quite a while. So when did that really start for you?
Yeah, so I think that the first kind of entrepreneurial ticks were when I was at for like 11, 12, where I started organizing football or soccer matches in my backyard.
Were you charging the kids to play?
No, I wasn't. I was
charging the spectators?
We're a social enterprise. And just trying to, it was just organization and putting something together. That was really always something I like to do, I guess. And then it really hit me in university, where I was just in computer science, and I was thinking like what I want to be doing, and found some problems. And I was like, oh, let's test it out. So I did a startup weekend in November 2014, and that was, I think, like the real beginning of my entrepreneurship career, if you will.
So for our friends at home, what's a startup weekend?
Oh, so startup weekend is this hackathon for 54 hours. There's people that come with ideas, and they pitch it in front of the audience. Then the audience, that's made up from developers, designers, entrepreneurs, business people, marketing people, whatnot, get together for 54 hours. They pick their idea from the people that pitched, and then they get together for 54 hours and try to push the company as far as possible, get it properly started, maybe build a product, speak to some people, interview some potential customers, try to figure out whether it's, if it's good, if it's bad, and whatnot. And yeah, so for 54 hours you do that, and then you pitch on the end, and then there's a winner.
So that's where you had your entrepreneurial beginnings?
Yeah, I think that was the first real physical thing that I got my connection with entrepreneurship.
So I have been to Prague, which is a little piece of the Czech Republic, which they have like really good beer, so it must be difficult to convince yourself to leave, especially to come to a random island in the middle of in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
So what brought you to St. John's?
Well, I wouldn't say it was hard to leave. I mean, I grew up there. I didn't grow up in Prague. I grew up in a little town called Rtení pod Krkonoší, if you guys wanna
say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, test it out. Rtení pod Krkonoší, Rtení pod Krkonoší, Rtení pod Krkonoší. It's pretty wild. But
I just learned Nozdravie, so
that will get you around. So I grew up in Czech and I was in Czech till I was 16. I finished elementary school, like grade 9. I think you guys consider it high school. I don't know. I finished elementary school, and then my dad's the company that my dad works for moved their production to China, and so I moved to China when I was 16. I lived there for 3 years, and after graduating high school, I was thinking like it doesn't make any sense for me to go back to Czech, because I felt like I was moving backwards if I did that. So I wanted to just keep exploring the world, and I was looking at opportunities around the world. I was looking at New Zealand, Australia, US, Canada. Australia, everything's trying to kill you. New Zealand, I don't know why I didn't choose to go there. They're pretty decent price. It's just like the flights were supremely expensive. US was just completely out of the question with their $60,000 a year prices, and then so I was looking into Canada, got accepted to a bunch of universities, and one looked like the coolest one because I mean, you know, they had very low tuition, and no one told me about the weather. I saw the pictures. I was like, "Whoa, these cliffs are awesome!" You know?
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, if you look at like the MUN marketing material, it is like sunshine and picnics.
Yeah, well, of course, you know.
There's like not the part where you're like walking backwards because you can't breathe because the wind is hitting you in the face.
Yeah.
But it seems like you've been fitting in well here.
Yeah, you know, the place has character. You know, the people are fun. It's a great piece of the world. I'm pretty happy that I'm ending up here.
So we're super happy to have Jan here in St. John's because he's been doing some really amazing things that have been helping out other entrepreneurs and helping out people. So you're recently starting a very cool project, I hear.
Yeah. So it's called GetCoding.
You forgot the exclamation mark. It's GetCoding. Exclamation.
Yeah.
Exclamation mark.
We could like scream it like GetCoding. You know? It is supposed to be like slightly like a command. That's the thinking behind the branding there. But yeah, it's a coding bootcamp where we take a bunch of students, a bunch of people who have some previous experience with coding, and get them coding in the most relevant languages and using the best frameworks that are most relevant to the current industry. And so that way they can get a job after graduating the bootcamp. So we just started on last Tuesday, on October 24th, and we've had 2 sessions already. We have 6 students, and it's pretty exciting. Yesterday was one. Started to learn some Git, so it's pretty.
Some what?
Awesome. Git. It's a version control tool.
Okay, so that sounds pretty cool. So that's like helping people to get hired. So like, what would you say some what's like the benefit of having that technological knowledge today? And maybe like if there's any, you know, young parents listening, what would be a good way to get their kids involved in learning about this new technological world?
For sure. So I'll answer that in 2 parts. First, why is it important to have tech skills? It doesn't make sense to not have them, because I mean, you know, you're recording this on an iPhone, right? And we're using computers every day, and all that is, you know, is technology, and you know, if you don't understand the power it has, you're losing so much potential you could do.
Like if you're someone that like starts to record a video podcast facing backwards, for example.
Well, yeah, I think that's a different issue. That's a different issue, I think. But it's just so important now, and you know, as unfortunate as it might be, we will be losing a lot of jobs, and tech jobs will be the most prominent industry within the next 50 years. So it just doesn't make sense not to know how to do these things, and to be able to communicate about it with other people that do it. And yeah, so definitely it's extremely important, because you need to understand. And the best way to start, it's like there's a lot of, actually there's not as much push from school districts as I think I would like to see, pushing computer science into classes. That is definitely one way how you would get people involved. Thinking back to how I got started, it's so different now because it is 2017, right? And I had my first computer when I was like
12, 11?
Maybe around there, yeah. So that's a few years back. So the technology has changed too. Like I remember, this is kind of sketchy, but me and my friends always used to crack games, so we wouldn't have to pay for them. Because in Czech, in Czech, the minimum wage is like $2.50, right? Like How can you afford? The games were the same price as they are here. Like how do you afford when you're 12, how do you afford a $50 game? That was just crazy. So we couldn't afford it.
Could you charge 25 of your sports spectators $2 each?
Yeah, well, it was a social enterprise. So yeah, we just that's how I got my start, I guess. And then in high school, I took a computer science course, and never went back. And I don't think that everyone that does computer science will become great developers, because I don't think I'm a great developer, but
you're a great entrepreneur.
I'm sure, if you want to say that. I wouldn't.
He is. He's being modest. He's had some amazing projects over the past couple of years. So
yeah, I wouldn't want to say that, but I lost my train of thought.
Well, so we were just kind of chatting about, like why it's important for kids to get involved in that today.
Yes,
and
right.
I know another great resource that I've seen is here in St. John's, they have Ladies Learn to Code. So they have some introductory programs. I've seen them have some Kids Learn to Code programs too. So that'll be an interesting way to get started if you're not quite at the skill level that you want to be. Yeah,
and just getting them exposed to getting people exposed to code, and to the way of thinking, the logic. You don't have to start off by building apps in React or whatever. Just having that general understanding of how things work, and just have logical thinking, which is hugely important. A lot of people actually don't think that way, which is pretty bad. But yeah, that getting there's a lot of apps available. But it's all about the exposure, because not everyone is going to be a developer, but making sure that they have the opportunity to test it out to see if it's for them or not is really important. So I think there's been a lot of movement lately towards alternate education. So I guess I have a little bit of experience in this as a biochemistry student with a marketing company. I'm always researching things, and people grow me, but I'm like, there's not many things that I feel like I could learn in a formal academic setting that I can't teach myself today on the internet. So I guess GetCoding and a lot of what you do is in that field as well. So yeah, so I started GetCoding with the thought of, I was looking back at when I started my first company, how much I progressed in so many aspects of, in so many skills. From user interface design, user experience, and design itself, marketing, branding, and so many things. And in 11 months, when we ran that company, I just, I pretty much, I think I had skills of a business marketing grad from university, right? And I was thinking like, whoa, this is crazy. This is incredible. Like, I was able to learn so much by doing and going out there and testing it out. And I was being held by mentors. So I was thinking, how would we put that into a project? How would we allow more people to do this? So that's what got me thinking about GetCoding, where we bring in people who are interested in learning by doing, and we bring in great mentors to push people in the right direction, give them, the best in the industry, but we mostly let the students figure it out on their own. That's the whole thought behind it. And GetCoding is just the beginning. I want to start Get Marketing, Get Selling, Get Designing, whatever else is possible. So that's why I like the branding that I've created, Get whatever. So I thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, this is just the beginning. We want to get people working on things they want to learn, being guided by people from the industry, and getting jobs in exactly what they want to be doing, and being exposed to different things. We think is really important. So it sounds like mentors are like a huge part of what you're doing. So when you're looking for a mentor for yourself, what are some things that you look for, like some qualities? I don't think I've ever looked for a mentor. It's just kind of, we're there, and when I needed them. No, it's just if I actually I have looked for a UI mentor, interface mentor, and I saw her designs before, and it was, I was super impressed. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then now when I'm getting into, I guess, UI design a little bit, I reached out to her to see if she could look over some of my designs and give me some feedback. So it's just quality, but otherwise it was just hanging around, events and then speaking with people, and I guess.
Yeah, I guess in like any industry, getting yourself out there, doing a little bit of networking, even if I'm like the worst at it, you always just feel so awkward. I don't know, but
the secret's in the beer.
The secret is in the beer. I think that's what it is. Every event that's like there's beer, it's just like so much easier.
Yeah.
But
it's like WD-40 for networking.
That is totally true. So where can we find out a little bit more about Get Coding, or if any of us want to get coding?
Yeah. So we have a website, just get-coding.ca. For some reason, we're not popping up on Google yet really well. I need to work on our SEO. But even on Facebook, Get Coding, that's going to pop up for sure. There we go a little in depth about what the bootcamp is. You can find out more. As I said, this cohort already started, so we're not opening. We don't have applications open, but definitely you can stay in the loop by hitting the stay in the loop button and putting in your email
Does the button
address.
actually say stay in the loop?
Yeah, it actually says stay in the loop. Yeah,
that's a good one. I like that. I'll have to sign up for that to stay in the loop.
Do it, yeah. And we're planning more cohorts coming up next year. It might change, the structure might change from the one that we're running right now, because this one is to an extent a test cohort where I'm actually taking it with my students, because I want to make sure that all they're getting the most value out of what we're teaching them, and we don't have any bullshit thrown in there that wouldn't give any value to our students. So I'm doing it with them. We're still kind of perfecting all the things, and then we're gonna launch another one in January, and then more coming up.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Jan, for helping me out with my very first chats with Chels, especially the little bit of tech support that we got started with.
Yeah.
And we'll give a shout out and a thanks to Common Ground Co-working for letting us use the space today to broadcast out of. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you again soon.
See ya.